hear just from only one candidate. Is that my screen audible to you guys and visible to you?
Yes, usually.
Guys, just I just wanted
Yeah, Umesh, we're
to
able
know
to
that.
see.
Okay,
Yeah, it's visible.
okay, fine. So let me. Okay. So this is the table of content that which I'll cover during this session. The first one is like so what is the data engineer roles and what are the topics that I will cover and what is the architecture, simple architecture and what is the complex architecture. Okay. So let me tell you the very first clear that the complex architecture of course is something that is used nowadays in a lot of the companies, but your role is very limited to that part. So I'll show you that part each things one by one. Okay. So let me show you the fourth, like what are the data engineer roles first. So data engineer is something, if you look at my screen, let me make it the presentation mode. 1 second. Okay, so let me show you the data engineer roles. Okay, so this is something that that is very nowadays very in high demand, and that is something you are going to play with the data that companies have, and you are going to deal with that data. Okay, so whether it is raw data, whether it is uh, diamond data or production data or any data. Okay, so data engineer is something that you are. So see here, the data engineer, what is data engineer roles today? So, okay, so data engineer is an IT worker whose primary job is to prepare data for analytical or operational use. Okay, so data that which you are going to use or you are going to provide to the customer, that is for the analytical purpose. Okay, so it means if the data that you have prepared, okay, that is going to be used for their business purpose. They are going to take their decisions based on your data. So you are responsible to create a pipeline. You are responsible to create a data integration jobs. You are responsible to prepare the high level transformation, not high level, the highly demandable transformations, and make the data in such a way that your data is visible to everyone. Your data is going to be customer delighted to take the decision based on your data. Okay, so data engineer role is very critical nowadays and very highly demand. Okay, so when you are going to work with data, you are going to provide to data to the customers in such a way that they can take their decision based on their business. So which area needs to improve or which area needs to decrease the sales amount or increase the sales amount, or need to, where is the scope, basically they find the scope to increase their business. Okay, so it means there are some areas where you need to spend more times. So that's kind of situations or that kind of scenario that can be handled by your data. Okay, or maybe process data or streaming data. So all those data that you are going to play with, if you are going to work with the streaming data, okay, it means live data. So for example, let's say if you have a IoT, you are working with for the IoTs and you have a sensors. So for example, let's say you have a plant and that plant is running 24 times. Okay, they are getting the data from raw oil from the seeds and source, and they are refining and they are sending to the, okay, sending to the through the outlet. So these are the, like, if data is your pipe your plant is running or failed, right? So IoT systems get the sensor data and they are capturing the temperature of the plants and the component that which are involved into the plant. So you are going to deal with that data. Okay, so it means if any plant's temperature is more than 90%, then it means its threshold is more than 90%, that means that can be shut down. If any plant has already shut down, then you will be, your data will help to customer that which plant is shut down and what is the reason, if any component failure or it is during the high temperature of that plant. So the idea or the conclusion of this content is that you are going to play with the crucial data. Okay, and you are very responsible, like the quality of the data. Okay, so you, maybe the transformation which I'm telling you, which continuously telling you in the last rule, every time, every classes. So like if you are going to deal with the data, it means you are going to do some transformation. what kind of transformation? There are a lot of transformation ways that I'll discuss detail in a next class when class will start. So today agenda is to that what are the content that I will cover and what are the things that is going on today. Okay, so this is the first data engineer and the topics which I will cover. Okay, the next slide is like Azure SQL. So like okay, so before moving to this slide, I will say that SQL is very important, crucial role for the data engineer. Okay, so without SQL, if you are going to attend any interviews, okay. So before sharing this, let me share one more. I'm pausing the recording here. This is not like this is something that confidential information. So if you look at my screen, okay, so I have a lot of interviews today that I need to conduct here. Okay, so look at the screen. This is for this company. I am not supposed to show you. So I'm the interviewer today and I'm going to interview these 5 candidates. Okay, so like and if you look at the job descriptions, and all is for data engineer. Okay, so if you look at here, the strong Azure experience like Spark, Synapse, Databricks, SQL, you can't bypass the SQL, whether you need the Azure SQL or you are going to work with the Azure Data Engineer, or you are going to work with the ADF developer, or you are going to work with the Databricks developer. So you can't bypass the SQL. SQL is involved everywhere. Okay, so this is the JD. Okay, for that role. Okay, so you can't bypass this, or maybe the other things also. So I'm just going to the close this window. So just my intention is to here display you the you how Azure SQL is important or SQL is important. If you are going to play with the data, okay, so you must know the SQL. So that's why I designed a course in such a way that first should be first topic will be the Azure SQL. Okay, so and the next topic will be ADF. Okay, and the next topic is the Azure storage, and then Azure Synapse Analytics, and then Azure Databricks basics. Okay, so I just mention here basics, but I'll cover detail. Okay, so for example, let's say if you don't know the SQL, then of course you're not going to get the data in ADF. Okay, so ADF can be like ADF is like ADF can able to handle more than 250 sources. Okay, it could be TXT, it could be multiple RDBMS, NoSQL, any cloud storage, anything that you are able to like more than 250 sources that ADF can handle. Okay, so but SQL is very important. So that's why my course only not. So some some organization or some centers, they only include the ADF, or they only include the Azure Databricks or the Synapse. But as a part of this course, you will able to know each and everything. And every topics will cover 4 to 5 classes. Okay, a week classes for each of the topics. So in total, you have 5 weeks. Okay, so 5 week classes you have, and in these 5 week classes, you will able to know the Azure SQL, ADF. In some topics, it will extend more. So for example, if I'm talking about the like Azure Data Factory, okay, so it is not going to complete by 4 or 5 classes. So sometimes 7 to 8 classes is required because it is something that is very crucial as a part of this role. Or maybe if you are going to work with the Azure Synapse Analytics, so 7 to 8 classes is required. So minimum 4 to 5 classes for each of the topics, but for some of the topics it is required more. Okay, so its course is designed in such a way that you are going to deal with all these topics. Okay, and the I'm just going to next slide. This is the simple architecture that I have created for you, because somebody in this which is non IT background, or maybe the background IT background, but don't know the much about the this area of the IT department, like they don't know the Azure, they don't know the Databricks, or they don't know the ETLs, or they don't know the how to write the SQL. So this is very simple architecture. If you look at here, this architecture, this is L0, L1, L2. So L0 means there is a raw data which are reside into the multiple sources I'm taking here. So I have taken 2 sources. The one is the L0, that is SQL and CSV files. Okay, and L1 is ADF, that is getting the
Could you
data.
please share that present screen?
Yeah,
It's
we
showing only
see that.
topic screen.
Yeah,
Topic skin, only this skin is visible. Okay,
yeah, we
one
are seeing
second.
only this topic screen in the word path.
But I'm sharing. Okay, let me stopping sharing and then share screen once again. Let
How
me
is
know
it?
guys once able to see my screen.
We are
We're
saying
still
that
seeing the
you
topic.
can click on another PPT. Like we are able to see only the topic. So if you have a topic number one is
Okay,
Azure SQL, so click on yeah, click to fourth one.
Yeah, we can see
but-
now.
Yeah.
okay, 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 fine. So this part is very much clear, right, on this slide.
So are they, let's say that Azure Data Factory is a kind of an cloud version of SSIS, SSRS, something?
Not cloud version of SSRS, SSIS, it is totally different from that. So you can say simply the it is comprises with the SSIS also. So okay,
Hmm.
it is cloud integration tool. It is not only SSIS. So what is the things that you can do in SSIS? Everything that you can do in ADF here also, but not only just to the SSIS part. It will cover more. Okay, so for example, let me show you for one for you only. This if you look at here, this is the ADF. Okay, so
Okay.
if you look at here, this is screen. Okay,
Hmm.
so this is lot of the data activity, lot of things that you are going to deal with. It is not something that only the SSIS part, but what are the things that if you know the SSIS, then for you it will be easy to learn the ADF. ADF has many things. It is the cloud integration tool. Okay, and it
Okay.
is something that it has very broad level things. Okay, so you can call Databricks, you can call like everything that you can do if you want Azure functions. Okay, SD Insight, a lot of things that you can do in ADF. Okay, so it is something that different from the SSIS. SSIS part is also there, but not part as some feature or all features of the SSIS, but not only limited to that part. It is more than that. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So anybody has any question on this slide?
Hi, is my voice audible?
Yeah. Please go
Hello.
ahead. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how it is different from Informatica and Informatica cloud services?
So Informatica, it is for Informatica. See, Informatica cloud is provided by the Informatica, and this cloud is provided by the Microsoft. That is the one difference. The other difference is Informatica is not much feature. Informatica cloud is not much feature that what cloud or ADF is providing. So if you look at the ADF part, okay, let me go to the one live example. So if you are going to create a, for example, let's say if you are going to create a link services, for example, I'm telling you, just for quickly, it will take more time because I have another call. If you are going to create link services here, for example, I'm telling you, if you look at here, the multiple sources, you can take, as I said, more than 250. Okay, so if you look at here, a lot of sources, lot of sources you can use in your this as a part of this ADF. And Informatica is it's provided by, of course, the Informatica company, but it is for the Microsoft. The feature wise, if you are comparing with the feature wise, but of course, the all feature that you have in Informatica, that everything you can get here. Okay, so all the things, but apart from that, if you know the Informatica, or if you are aware with the any ETL tool, then for you it will be easy to learn this ADF. Okay. Okay, guys, quickly, anybody has any other question?
Uh,
Yeah, I have one more question which is
Yeah.
related to, yeah, can ADF can be used for a ELT tool as well as a ETL tool,
Yes. Answer is
and
yes.
also can it handle sub heterogeneous workload? Suppose if you are scheduling the pipeline for every week, first day, we don't know how much incoming data is coming, right? Can it handle the down the line process?
Yeah, so for that you need to use the elastic concept. Yes, it will be able to handle. So elastic is something that then if you don't know the size of the data, okay, but it will expand automatically once in size increases, data size increases. So for that you need to use
Yeah,
the other services of the media for that. Yeah.
yeah, for
Any other question,
computation
guys?
power, yeah, for
Yeah,
computation
yeah,
and
yeah. Yes,
storage.
we have all those things. Things. Okay. So okay.
Uh,
So
uh,
what?
just now I have joined. Just 2 3 minutes back, I have joined. I have missed the starting session. So, what are the prerequisites to learn this Azure Data Factory? So, what must be we have to be familiar with?
So the basic and very basic thing is Azure SQL. The primary knowledge should be in Azure SQL. Okay. If you know the Azure SQL, then you will be able to learn the Azure Data Factory. Apart from that, nothing is required. The and what additionally what I was trying to say, if the person who is in Informatica background or any ETL background, SSIS background, for them it will be easy to learn ADF. Compared to the other person who don't have exposure, they are just coming to learn first time. So for that person, they need to go to the Azure SQL first. So they need to basic queries, they need to know that how to get the data, how to select queries will work, what is the group by clause, delete, everything that you should know first. Then you will able to work with the ADF part. Unless you don't know the Azure SQL, without SQL part, ADF is very tough, or I can say it is kind of impossible. Okay, so that's why I
Is
included
it
Azure
helpful,
SQL.
Microsoft SQL server?
If you
Not full
know,
server, not full
if you know the
server, but
SQL, normal SQL, like
yeah,
will that be good sufficient for Azure
yeah,
SQL as well?
that will be sufficient. That will be sufficient.
Okay.
I will show you. I'll show you. So I will show you that part as well. I'll come up to that. What I'm going to teach you as a part of Azure SQL. Okay, I'll come to that topic
Uh,
today only.
can we say
Yeah,
this
yeah.
as
Go
a
ahead.
combination of SSIS and SSRS? Can we say this as combination of both SSIS and SSRS?
Like Azure version, cloud version, Azure version, something.
No, no. SSIS. Okay. Who is this? Your name is
Adarsh.
others. So others. SSIS and SSRS is different from ADF. Okay. SSRS is SQL Server Reporting Services. You are not going to work. You are not going to work to create any reporting here or any data visualization things. You are going to work here. Data engineer role is not going to create a report. Data engineer role is to going to create a ETL, deal with the data, provide the data to the data visualization developer. Okay, data visualization developer is responsible for SSRS. Now coming to the SSIS, SSIS is the integration tool, Microsoft integration tool, which is on-prem integration tool. Okay, so the person who knows the SSIS, it is not the combination of simply SSRS and SSIS. You can say there is no SSRS at all here in ADF. Yeah, coming to the SSIS, all the features that you have in SSIS that is available in ADF, but ADF is lot of more than that. That what I repeatedly I'm saying. ADF is more than that what SSIS, and also ADF has leveraged the feature that if you have SSIS packages and if you want to call those packages within the ADF or with the help of the ADF, you can do that. So that is there are three type of integration runtime. Okay, the one is like execute SSIS out of three. So as execute SSIS will help you to run the SSIS packages that which you have created in the on-prem. So hope now it is very much clear that the about the ADF and SSRS and SSIS. Others
Yeah, yeah. Thank
is
you.
that answer your question? Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
Okay. Anybody any other question? Just moving to I'm just moving to quickly. I have 10:45 another interview that I need to conduct here. Okay. So one second. Let me use this one. So I'm also the national panelist of the like the for the data engineer and the cloud things. Okay. So I need to let me close it out. Let me close. So once again, guys, just give me a second. I need to see that what is my next interview I need to conduct. It is 10:30 or something. It is 10:30. Okay. So okay. Also, I'm just going to quickly read about the ADF part. Okay. So anybody has any question that about on this topic? I'll move to the next quickly. No question. I'm moving, guys. So so this is a simple architecture that which I hope you guys are able to see my screen. This is the Azure data. It is SQL and CSV. You have two files. Okay, I'm just taking here as example. L0 means this is raw data. You are going to play with here. L1 is a Azure data factory. You are bringing the data from these two sources and you are doing some transformation and sending to the Azure SQL. And now from Azure SQL, there are some Power BI developer who is going to use your data that what you have processed to L2. Okay, but as a part of data engineer, you are not going to create a Power BI reports. I just as an architecture, I'm saying your role is here only in L1 part, getting the data from the sources and sending it to L2. L2 is the L2 is the basically the gold data, or you can say the production data that is going to be consumed by the Power BI developer. Okay, so I'm just going to the next slide. That is the complex architecture. Okay, so it is how since more than 2 years we are working with this architecture, and it has lot of components and lot of teams involved here. But as data engineer, your role is to limited to this, where you can see the like this box ADF, where you have mentioned ADF or ADB. Okay, that part you need to understand, or that part you need to work. So if coming to the architecture, if you look at here, the end users PC and they are using Power Platform data, there is LCM 40 data, and they are sending this data to the Dataverse. Dataverse is another database which is provided by the Microsoft cloud database, and with the help of the ADF you are going to get the data from Dataverse and sending it to the Azure SQL as a part of the staging. There is another source for this, that is the API, that is directly they have APN application that they have coming the data through API, and they are going with the raw data, and then L1 like the this data, and there is the consumption data. Okay, so this data is you are going to work here the transformation at the L1 level. You are going to do some transformation in L0. L0 means data means whatever data you have into the source, you are just bringing into the Azure environment using the different sources and the Azure data services. Okay, and here these last one is the plainwares, that is the EDL. This is the enterprise uh, this is the enterprise data lake that is going to be used. Okay, and this is the another the repository for the data, and your role is to get your role work as a part of data engineer. This is the architecture of the whole team that multiple teams are going to work, but your role is here to only uh, to get the data from these different sources, doing some transformation and sending it to the staging layer. Once data came into the staging layer, after that you need to create ADF or Azure Databricks, and you send these data to the this prod or golden layer. Okay, now again Power BI developer is going to get this data and consume those data that you have prepared for them. Okay, let me know, guys, once you have any question till now.
Can you increase the screen resolution? I couldn't able to see that architecture clearly. Is that different from Snowflake? Snowflake is one tool is there for warehousing the data on the cloud.
Snowflake, yeah, Snowflake is altogether different thing. Snowflake is the cloud data warehousing tool. Okay.
So it also collects the
It-
data from different sources and store it on the cloud, I think. Yeah.
yeah. So Snowflake is a further similar to the data warehousing. Okay. Snowflake is like you are going to get that store the data somewhere on a cloud. Okay. So Snowflake is for that purpose. There is no difference. I mean, there is no compare between Snowflake and ADF, Azure Data Factory.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to add something like Azure Databricks is similar to Snowflake, I think.
No. Azure Databricks itself also is not similar to the Snowflake. Azure Databricks is like something that you are going to do some programming, right? Using PySpark, using Scala, using Azure SQL, using R. Okay, these are the 4 languages which Azure Databricks supports. So let me tell you this first Snowflake. Snowflake is the
Yeah,
another
Azure.
company which provides.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Azure
sorry, go ahead,
Synapse
please.
is yeah, Azure Synapse is similar
Yeah,
to
Azure Synapse is very much
Snowflake.
similar to
But
Snowflake. Yes,
Snowflake, why when you're building end-to-end projects, right? We need data from different source systems and all, right? Yeah, from Snowflake side is there is a limitation between the connectors. So ADF have
correct,
the potentiality to connect from different source systems. It can connect a batch system, it can connect a real-time data set. Yeah, from the
correct.
down the line, you can build the
Very much,
pipelines.
yeah. Great answer. Who is this?
One,
Who is this
yeah,
name?
Pawan Reddy.
Pawan. Great. So that is what I'm expecting. So you can a Snowflake you can little bit compare with the Synapse. Okay, Azure Synapse Analytics. Azure Synapse Analytics is comprises with the 2 parts. The one is the when we are going to deal with the big data analytics or big data, that is one part. The other part is for the data warehousing. Okay, when you are going to store the data or you are going to, when I say big data analytics means first part like big data analytics means you are able to create pipelines, you are able to create ingest the data, get the data from different sources and dump into some location. Okay, and also the okay let me so you guys are already raised this point, so let me show you the other part. So if you look at here the Azure Synapse. Okay, Azure Synapse is providing hope my screen is visible to you guys. Okay,
Yes.
so what I'm trying to say here, see here, I'm just quickly moving to Azure Synapse. So here if you look at the partition distributions, hash distributions, round robin distributions, replicated, all these data warehousing concept here is involved into the Azure Synapse Analytics. That is, I can say that is little bit, or I can say the 50% is similarity with the Snowflake. But again, Azure Synapse Analytics itself has a huge concept, and it is very much that what Snowflake has. Okay, so the other difference is of course like in ADF, sorry, in Azure Synapse Analytics, you have the flexibility where you can use the serverless SQL pool. I'm not sure that this concept is available into the Snowflake. Okay, so what is the serverless means? Compute services that which we are going to use. Okay, let's not go to that topic in too much. Let's first I hope you got the answer, right? Hope you received the answer from all this discussion, that the Synapse or the how you can compare with the Snowflake with the Azure ETL tools, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise it will be more into detail. So that is the architecture that I have. Okay, so and that what I was trying to say is your role is very limited here, that your role is to not involve everywhere in this page, in this architecture. Your role is to work here whether you have meant PySpark, ADF, ADB. Okay, and that you need to work with that part. Not, you are not responsible to where this application is working or not. You are not up, you are not responsible to that if data is coming to Dataverse or not. If data is not coming to Dataverse, you can only raise the flag that your pipeline is failed if data, or pipeline is not getting the data because data is not available in the source. But sending the data to this source is not your responsibility. It is something that is in end user responsibility, using their PC, using their application, sending the data to, or the Dataverse developer needs to responsible to get the data inside this Dataverse. Okay, so the coming to this architecture is very complex, but like the role is as a part of data engineer is limited. Okay, not to the all across this architecture. Okay, coming to the next slide that I have as a part of this course, that what I will cover. Let me go to the quickly the SQL part, which definitely I um, uh, already I said that what is the someone said that what are the prerequisites for that. So I said that SQL is required. So as a part of this course, what I will cover. So these are the, if you look at my screen here, these are the things that which I will cover during the classes. Okay, and approximately 3 to 4 classes will take to complete this Azure SQL. Okay, the next the part is that I also cover the advanced SQL, like the person somebody who also knows the stored procedure function, but the person who is coming from the first time and they want to learn the ADF, then definitely I'll cover that for them. Also a stored procedure functions, views, indexes, and CTE, which is very important. We are going to deal with the complex queries and all. Okay, and this is the next ADF that what I will cover. So this is the, if you look at my screen, these are the topics that I will cover. I only mentioned here the brief part, but detailed part I'll cover during the session. And I'm not only limited to that part. If anybody has any topic that they want to know, that I'll cover that part as well. And this topic is not going to complete 3 to 4 classes. That it will take like 7 to 8 classes. Okay, for to complete the ADF. ADF itself in India is they are running a lot of batches to learn only ADF. But as a part of this course, you are not going to learn only ADF. You are going to learn more other Azure data services. Okay, so that is the ADF part that I will cover, and that is the advanced ADF that I will cover during the classes. Okay, so I'm just quickly moving to the Azure Synapse Analytics, which I'm going to cover this part. So Azure Synapse Analytics, this is the things that I will cover. Okay, and as a part of the Databricks, these are the things that I will cover. More detail. Okay, I just mentioned here as a high level content, but of course their practical implementation and their concept I will implement in front of you guys. Okay, so these are the the Azure storage is like I will cover this like Azure storage type of and data like Gen 2, and the remaining like I did not mention like detail level like table, queues, files, and blob, but of course I'll cover those all those things into the detail. So this is the as a part of this whole syllabus. These are the things that I will cover. Okay. So let me know, guys, if you have anybody go now I'll go one by one. If you have any questions, any doubts, and before leaving this class, leaving this demo, I'll just giving my here the contact number to everybody. If you have any doubts, then let me know. My name is Umesh and contact number is 9799. Okay, so this is the number. So guys, anybody had any questions, let me know before binding this today's sessions, and then I'll wrap up this.
Yeah,
Uh,
Umesh, there
Yeah.
are a variety of integration platforms like we see MuleSoft, TIBCO. Uh, are they anyway correlated to this
Yeah,
thing?
so if yeah, so definitely this is related to that. If any ETL tool, okay, if you are if you know the any TIBCO ETL tool, okay, talent, if you know the talent, if you know uh the Informatica, if you know the Ab initio, okay, there are a lot of ETL tools in the market. Okay, so if anybody
Yeah,
has
MuleSoft.
yeah, MuleSoft is there. So if anybody has known like any ETL tool, so for them it will very easy to learn the ADF.
Elbumi is also there.
Okay, and it is directly related because you are doing the similar thing, but with the help of the other, with the help of the with the help of the other tools and leverage with more features. So this is cloud, this is Microsoft cloud, and their availability is more than 99.9%. Okay, so it is, and always it is they are inventing a lot of things. So today if I'm going to show something, and tomorrow if you are going to get more option. Okay, so I can say ADF is now or I can say the Microsoft Azure is now beating to the AWS as well. So initially like 3 4 years back, since I am into more than 5 years into this cloud area, so AWS was was leading the whole IT market in the cloud. Okay, but slowly Microsoft has just and micro at those days Microsoft was behind to the AWS, but nowadays Microsoft has just left behind to the AWS, and now it is leading the in a IT. So that is how they are growing. So if you ask the question about the any ETL tool, that of course there are similarity and their all features are there in ADF, but there's not only limited to that. That is many more is involved into the ADF. Yeah. Any other question,
Do we
guys?
cover a PySpark course in this?
Yeah, definitely I'll cover. So good question.
What are the prerequisites
I
for
know
that?
for the non yeah, I
Hello.
know that that is little bit challenge for you. Hello, am I audible to you guys?
Yes, yes.
So what I was trying to say that I know that this will be little bit challenge for those guys which is from non-programming skills, but I will teach them that I'll start from the basic and I'll cover the as a part of the so as a part of the this Databricks part, definitely you should know some programming, some level of programming. Okay?
Umesh,
Just
are
one
we
second,
getting any
guys.
real-time experience in this?
I know the Python till OOP concepts. Is it sufficient?
Sorry, come again. Sorry, I on mute. I was getting a call. Yeah, tell
Okay,
me.
okay.
Repeat
Umesh,
once
like,
again.
are we getting any
I
real-time experience in this, or are you going to teach what is what? For example, say like, the for each loop and all those things. Like, you'll just explaining what is what, or are we getting any real-time experience from this?
No, it will be real-time classes.
No, no. Like my question is, say for
So in
example,
demo
say
that I
in
said
terms.
what I'll going to cover. Yeah. One by one, guys. So to answer your question that, for example, for each loop or get metadata, I'm not going to just explain you theoretically. I'm just going to implement in front of you guys. Okay. It will be all the practical sessions. This is not a theoretical class. So this is the demo. That's why I just mentioned here what are the things. It is not possible in a demo to start, right? It is something
No,
that
no,
okay, okay. Is
I
there
will.
any
my
real-time
question is
projects?
completely different. Umesh. Like my question, what I'm asking is
Yeah,
like at the end of the
yeah.
course,
Yes,
after the completion
yeah.
of course, are we getting a end-to-end project experience? Like say, getting the data from multiple sources, like say from the batch or from text or from XML or from JSON, and then converting that into required, visual projects, and then converting that into the making it integrated in the database. So are we getting complete end-to-end thing, or we just moving with what is what with the demo classes?
No. So to answer your question, of course we are going to take the live things and what the currently in industry is happening, how they are getting the data, okay, how they are getting the data from the different sources. So I cannot take all the courses, all these sources, but of course few sources system that I have. For example, I have the Databricks DBFS file system. I have the Azure storage. I have the on-premise SQL server from where I'll get the data. So definitely you are going to work with the live classes that we similar to the very much to live project. Okay, so for example, if you look at here, I have the SSMs on my system which I have designed for you guys. Okay, so I'll show you that how you'll get the data using the different integration runtime. For that, you need to self-hosted integration runtime to get the data from on-prem. So how you'll get the data? So that all you have to practical exposure after the end of this class, not only the theoretical things. That what I in the very beginning I said. So if you look at it,
So,
this is the on-prem database which I installed here. Okay, and how will get the data? How will bring this data into? That is the challenge, right? That is you need self-hosted integration runtime for that, and for that you need to install that in your system. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Got it, Umesh. Thank you.
so
So
shall we
it is
get,
all practical classes, not a theoretical. So in demo, that what I just saying that what I'm going to cover as a part of the live classes. I have the this account, right, where I will show you everything here. Okay, not to the only theoretical part. Okay, go ahead. Any other question, guys?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
shall we
Umesh.
also get this access to this cloud, the Azure, which you have access to that link, like as a student, kind of free access, something?
Uh, I can add few of them, but of course it is very personal. So you guys, if you have a credit card, you will able to get that one, right? You don't I mean you don't require anything. You can give this free trial version. I will help you in that. Okay. So this free trial you can get also. But I am not sure that if you are going to leverage with these things, because this is something that is for me that Visual Path has provided to me, and this is the paid things. Some paid things, some free trial as
Okay.
well. But yeah,
Yeah. So Umesh,
but I'll add few of people. Yeah, go ahead.
Umesh, for people who are having some career gaps and who are from non-IT background, can they directly jump to this course and get placement? How going to be the career opportunities for the people who want to join this from non-IT
It
background?
is, yeah. So that is for the people or for the candidate who is career gap. Okay, so they can get the benefited. They can they can get the benefit of this current skill set demand, ADF demand. Okay, so for them it is very, I think I can say that this is best choice for them nowadays. So if they have the career gap, but they know the idea and they can able to learn. That is one answer of your one part. The second part you ask that if they have non-IT background. Of course, this course is designed in such a way that I'll start from the very beginning, very basic. So if maybe if I have, let's say for example, two student in the class, one is from IT background, another is for non-IT background. So it doesn't mean that I'll go with that student who is from IT background. I'll go with that student who is from non-IT background. So I'll my idea or my effort is to bring everyone at the same level, so that if tomorrow after end of this season, after end of this course, if you go out, then you can simply say that hey, I have 4 years exposure in ADF, I have 4 years exposure in Azure Synapse. Okay, now it is I'm taking in very much interviews on a daily basis, 10 to 20 interviews I'm taking. I'm also the a national panelist of the a lot of the companies. Okay, like Tech Mahindra, Cognizant, Virusa, Mindtree. Okay, so there are so many more companies. So what I realized in the interviews, the person who learn itself ADF but they don't know the SQL, they are failing in the SQL. They is not capable to write a simple basic SQL code. So for that candidate, I'm rejecting, because that is mandatory for us to person should know that it's basic SQL. So they know the SQL, they know the idea, but they don't aware the Azure Databricks. Even though don't know the basic that how to read the data from source. If you have a CSV file and if you want to read the data from using the Databricks, then they don't know. But as a part of this course, you will able to know everything. You will able to know Azure Databricks, you will able to know the Synapse, you will able to know the ADF, Azure SQL. I most of the data services which Microsoft provide, you are going to learn. You are going to get. Okay? So that's for you, I think, or for anyone who is
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
non-IT background or career is very
What is the
important.
fee? What is the
So what
course fee
are
for
the
this?
career opportunities? Can you please discuss how is the market situation for this?
Yeah, so market situation is nowadays, if you look at here, that's what I said, on daily basis, I'm taking too much interviews, and market is, see, market crisis is going on. Okay, crisis is going on in today market, but there is no cut or there is no any crisis for the data engineers, for the cloud engineers. Companies are looking, if you look at, so that's what I was trying to say. It should be very personal. Let me pause the recording. Are you guys able to see my screen?
No, we still see this about that.
Yeah, we see complex architecture, that slide.
Yeah, the architecture slide only.
Okay, let me stop sharing and let me okay, let me share my screen now. Let me know guys once able to see my screen.
Yeah, slides are moving.
Okay. So that is
Slides are
what.
moving.
So if you look at here, crisis is going on. Okay. But today, if you look at it, 10:30, I have another interview. In 2 minutes, I have another interview. I need to conduct that interview. Okay. So if you look at here, today there are 4 candidates, not 4. We have 5. I have already taken the one interviews today. I have completed this at the 9 o'clock. Okay, for this candidate. So if you look at here, the interviews are going on, and that is not for only this company. If you look at the company name here, which I have conducted the interview, I'm also the national president. So these courses, if you look at it like advanced or, let me quickly tell you in the other things. If you look at here, the so if you look at here, guys, lot of okay, let me go to the here, or maybe let me go to the performance. Let me go to the performance section. If you look at here, just give me a second. So data is only for 1 month here, so not able to show you. If you look at here, the interviews which I conducted, it is for the different companies and different things. So interviews, the scope that you are asking, that interviews is going on. Okay, so even recession is also going on in today IT world, but there is no filtration, or there is no cut of the for the data engineer or the cloud engineer. They are looking the candidate. There's a huge gap on the demand and the supply. Supply is very less, okay, and demand is very high. All the companies, all the tier 1 and tier 2 companies are moving to the cloud, and they don't have the proper resource. Okay, so they want.
So we
So
need
there is no. I can say the scope is very high in demand. Guys, so I have a time to like close this session. So before closing the session,
One
any other question?
one last thing,
I
like
mean,
how
we
is the
need to
pay?
learn the
How is the
SQL
pay
scripts.
in for this course, like for this technology in the market? Let's
Sorry, I
say
think.
let's say
Sai, can you?
I'm
Can you
working in
please
already in IT, and if I wanted to switch to this course, this technology, and how is the pay in the market? Like how they are paying, since you are mentioning
that
that there is
you
a
have
huge
to
demand.
discuss with HR?
Pardon?
Yeah, of course. The as I said, the what is that is totally depend on the like the current the current package that you are getting. But
Yeah,
of course, if you have a good knowledge,
Yeah, I
then you
mean
can
to
jump.
ask like if they're paying good salaries here, when you compare to other
You can
technologies.
check that in
Yeah.
Amazon
Of
and
course.
Google
we
Glassdoor.
need
There are multiple
Yeah.
scripting
So
knowledge,
platforms.
SQL scripting knowledge for this course.
yeah. So in this field, you will get more jump. Okay, and compared to the other sector, other sector, I can say other department of the IT. Okay, you can get a good jump. Even 100% hike, more than 100% hike, people are getting.
So, Mesh, I
Dinesh, I
have
have
one
one
question.
question.
Yeah, guys,
Actually,
I'm sorry to. I have a hard stop here. So like, look at, if you guys are able to see my screen, look at this screen. I have 10:30. The interviews that I need to conduct. I have already 1 minute behind, 2 minutes behind. Okay,
one
so
last
I need to
question.
finish
One
this class.
last.
I left my number here. If anybody has any question, just please reach out to me. Either today or tomorrow, I'm also available.
Sure.
Okay.